first one I'm going to talk about is You Fool. This is designed by Dr. Witz. And it is a 4-player game, a 3 or 4-player game. I'd recommend playing with 4 because you play with 3, you play with a bot. 4-player game where you are playing as clowns. Clowns trying to get to the top of a pyramid. Okay. And this game, the reason this game was fantastic is because everyone wins but one person. And that is hilarious. So what happens? This is a bluffing, try and convince people things like you're lying, bluff. Yeah, that's where it's bluffing, deduction type game, I guess. There are a hand of 5 movement cards, 2 ups, a right, a left, and a ball. Okay. And each turn, everyone takes a turn being the lead clown. The lead clown is going to place these five cards in front of him, and he or she will not look at these cards, but the other players will be able to look at one card each. Okay, and then they are going to convince the lead clown about who gets what card, because the lead clown will divvy out the cards, the movement cards, to every clown, including themselves, without looking at them, and explain and say which order they're going to be played in. On the back of each movement card is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're different orientations. So you put it like this person will go first, this person will go second, and so forth. The clowns are in a clown card at the beginning of the game, but they're trying to get out of the clown car up into the tent. And the tent cards, it's a pyramid that consists of 6 cards, and they have different arrows on them. So if you get an up and you're in the clown car, there is an up arrow on the clown car, so you can go up into the tent. Now the first card in the clown and the first card in the tent card has arrows going to the side. So if you have an up card and you're in that first card, you cannot go up. You can only go left or right. And the way you win is to be one of the 3 clowns in the top 3 spots of the pyramid, of the tent pyramid. Or at the end of it, if you are in the topmost spot and you get the ball and you play the ball, it knocks you back to the clown car. And if you are the 3rd person to get knocked down, you become the fool. So the 4th player the player who is not in the pyramid or that gets knocked down becomes the fool. They lose, everyone else wins. It is a ridiculous game. Like, it is just super fun, and it's short, it's quick. The thing about these is that sometimes the rule books aren't very clear because they are so small and concise. And so the first time we played was a bit rocky because it wasn't clear exactly how things run. But as we started playing it, it actually became super smooth. So this one is called You Fool, and it's by Button Shy Games, which is who we're talking about.
You fool!
Does that sound, You Fool, and it's just okay.
You
I'll back
fool!
up. The thing that gets me excited about these are how clever people can be with 18 cards. That happened with Liberation. Okay,
True.
That one, how it condensed essentially Star Wars Rebellion into 18 cards, just blew me away, and it was super fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the creativity. Not all of these are going to be gold, but I'm definitely going to get. Not all of them, because the next one that comes out is a solo trading game, which is really interesting, but I just don't play solo games. But every other one I'm probably just going to get. I have another order of like 2 games coming my way. It is a slight obsession right now that I need to calm down on. But it's not happening anytime soon, because I also played another Button Shy game that I'm going to talk about. But before we get to that, have you played anything other than Liberation by Button Shy Games?
Nope. I have Tussie Mussy.
Uh-huh.
I am a fan of Elizabeth Hargrave, and when Tussie Mussy got kickstarted, I backed it.
Yep.
One other game from them that I want to try is called The Perfect Moment. Have you heard about this game before?
Mm-mm. No, but I will order it right now. Just kidding.
So The Perfect Moment is like this game where you have items from the past, future, and present. Oh my gosh. The past, the future, and the present. I believe. I'm recalling this off the top of my head. I can't recall. But what's happening is that what you do is you have to align these items in their own unique timeline to a unique setting in order for the game to win.
Okay.
And I fell in love with mostly the design and the art, and I really liked the concept at the time, and I backed it for the print and play. So that's why I haven't played it yet, is because I do have the ability to print and play a lot of these things.
Yeah.
So I did do the print and play, but at the same time, I kind of wish I had maybe backed more of an official version. Just
Hmm.
because it's like when you get it and you like it, it's like, I should have just sprung the extra $7 to get it, right?
Right.
That
Uh,
is so between that and Liberation, those were I think the wallet games and Tussie Mussy, which is coming out. Those are the only three. But Penny Rails looks really good from Travis. Oh
Hill.
no, thank you. Yes, he does a lot of rulebook editing. So Travis Hill is doing that one, and the next game that you're going to talk about as well is from another designer that had a big game come out recently at Origins too. So,
Really?
yep,
Which game?
Dead Man's Cabal.
Oh, it's the same. Okay. So the next game I'm talking about is called Ahead in the Clouds, which is a very clever title because it's like you're like the. Anyway, I think you get it. Yes, people get so clever. Okay, so Ahead in the Clouds is a resource management game where you are trying to fulfill contracts. There are, I believe, 9 contracts that you are trying to fulfill. And this is a 2-player game by default. There is a way to play 3 to 4 players if you buy the expansions. Um, Once again, it's just 18 cards. 4 of those cards are used to say how many of each resource you have, and the resources are, let's say, it's water, oxygen, hydrogen, and stone. And then there are buildings out there that will convert one resource to another, or give you certain amounts of resources, and you each also have buildings. Sorry, your own buildings are called your something I don't remember, but your own buildings. Okay, and each player just has one. So one player is red, one player is blue. So on your turn, you're able to connect buildings. Each card is a building, represents a building, and there are 2 or 3 roadways that come out of them. And so you're able to connect them any way possible. In order to activate a building, it has to be connected to your own building, the one that is your own personal building, which means potentially that if you activate a building, it could go through your opponent's building, which will give them a specific resource, but you'll still be able to activate the building as well. So it gives, through some clever planning and trying to figure out what your opponent's going to do, it could give you a resource. The winner of the game is the one who fulfills the most contracts, and contracts are like have 7 hydrogen, or have 7 stone, or have a combination of like 3 of each resource type thing. And so it's a pretty simple contracts. But the way you activate buildings, and the buildings will either, let's see, there's one that gives you 2 stone, there's one that gives you 2 water, there's one that converts X amount of stone and X amount of something to give you oxygen and hydrogen, or something along those lines. Those aren't the exact thing, or the exact conversions, but super clever 2-player game, easy to get into. This rule book actually made a lot of sense, and by rule book I mean more like rule pamphlet, I guess is the word to use. But another super clever game. And now here's the thing: I might be biased because I just love this concept of shoving a game into 18 cards. That I'm probably going to love to some extent every game I play of theirs, because I'm like, oh, that's so clever. I don't know how many times I'm going to play each game, but I think they're kind of fun to just kind of take around with you. I'm going to put a couple of these in my commuter bag and take them to work and break them out at certain times if I'm with people at work over lunch or something like that, because they do travel well and they are just so tiny. And I may be a little obsessed. The picture you're seeing now on the stream, they don't come with counters or anything. So they say, hey, to keep track of stuff, find your own counters. So I use these little skull beads that I have, and Valve found this little basket of like erasers and little like dinky toys that my kids have stashed away. So that's what we used, and that's fine because it's cute and not thematic at all. But it's just another fun resource management game that is a lot different than anything I've played, and just one that sounds like a lot of fun. And that's Ahead in the Clouds, which I think is also available. These games are all available on their website. If you spend more than like $25, you get free shipping or something like that. I sound like an advertisement right now. They have not given us anything or paid us any money. I am just fanboying the heck out of Button Shy Games over here. So that's 2 games: You Fool and Ahead in the Clouds.
You fool.
You fool.
That's fun to say.